From tales long, long ago, from your parents, your friends, over a campfire, at home. Tales you probably heard of just reading a book, walking down the street. We hear them all the time. These tales are folklore. And they have folklore entities. 'Tis I, Plush. Be notified. Be notified? That makes sense. Okay, it makes sense in my head. There's a lot of things in my head. Um. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah. Okay. Today's case file are skinwalkers. Um. I find that skinwalkers are really interesting. Really is interesting. And if I'm thinking, if I'm thinking of the right creature, one thing that I always think of, which comes to mind, is a creature from Crypt TV. They're a channel that does horror shorts and whatnot, and they had this one series because they do series of horror creatures called Mordo, Mordio. Um. Ah, I just want to see the image. Bu, 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 bu. Yeah. You know what? This is what uh I tend to think of when I think of skinwalkers. It's kind of my favorite. Well, I don't want to say it's my favorite of all these entities because a lot of these entities are like super amazing too. I mean, there's Dualahans and stuff like that. And they're all really cool. Um, the skinwalkers are also really cool. Let's start off with what we got for an AI short description of skinwalkers, shall we? Um, let's see. It says in Navajo folklore, skinwalker. I'm not gonna pronounce this right, because I'm bad at pronouncing things. Really, really bad at pronouncing things. Um, but a skinwalker is a malevolent. That word. It is a word that I'm trying to say. Which possessing the supernatural ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as animals. Deeply rooted in indigenous tradition, these figures represent the antithesis of Navajo cultural values and traditionally spoken with extreme caution. They are considered dangerous. Yeah, I did just say considerably considered. That makes sense. Um, let's see. In Navajo's language, I'm gonna try Yi Naldushi. Roughly translates to by means of it goes on all fours. Origin: traditional beliefs hold that the skinwalkers were once medicine men who chose to use their knowledge and power for malicious purposes. The witchery way to acquire their shapeshifting abilities, initiates must reportedly commit an unspeakable taboo, such as the murder of a close family member. I also see a version or idea of this entity where um, it is based on eating another human flesh, cannibalism. Cannibalism being the thing that makes it. Shapeshifters like this, or skinwalkers. Sorry, skinwalkers. They're. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking Wendigos. Thinking Wendigos. Are Wendigos and skinwalkers separate things? I don't want to start looking up Wendigos when I'm doing an episode on skinwalkers. I'll probably do that a different episode. But let's see, skinwalkers use animal pelts, most commonly those of coyotes, wolves, owls, or bears, to transform and harness traits of that creature. The abilities include shape-shifting, assuming the physical form of various animals, mimicry, possessing superhuman speed, reading minds, and mimicking the voices or cries of animals and humans to lure victims. Malevolence, 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 casting curses that cause illness, misfortune, or death. Cultural significance, taboos. The legend is heavily guarded within the Navajo Nation. Discussing skinwalkers with outsiders, even among family members, is widely considered taboo, as it is to believe that the entities may be drawn to those who speak of them. Protection. In traditional lore, the only way to kill a skinwalker is to use bullets or weapons coated in white ash. What does the white ash come from? Like, can it be any kind of white ash? Are we talking like just white ash from like certain wood? Doesn't certain wood cause? I think all ash turns white. I don't know what causes white ash. I'm pretty dumb, pretty dumb. But that's why I do research. That's why I look things up. Um, the lore has transcended its cultural origins, heavily influencing modern paranormal internet culture such as creepypastas, inspiring entertainment such as the 2006 horror film Skinwalkers. The concept has also been associated with the famously mysterious Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, thus the location's paranormal activity is often conflated with broader UFO and cryptid phenomena. Now, I will say on my piece on creepypastas and whatnot. Now, creepypastas. Well, we're gonna have to go to face. Look at me. Look at me. Creepypastas, in my opinion, are just a different form of campfire stories. Scary stories that people just tell each other, right? And this is important in this kind of research because I believe that it is the belief of these entities, these creatures, that give them life, so to speak. So even if it's something on the internet, or if it's something told over a campfire, or something that your parents tell you to scare you to not do something, that fear or that knowledge or that belief in that creature can still give it life no matter where the information or the story comes from. And it's what makes these creatures so interesting because there's so many different iterations to these. It's part of the reason why I actually want to do Google searches of these. Why I'm doing this as a Google search. Also because I don't exactly have the money to go traveling around and finding books and asking people for the tales. I'm broke, very broke. Um, I just find it really interesting to do this. So let's see. Um, it's gonna sound weird, but we're gonna look on Reddit, right? There's a post on Reddit, um, in r/paranormal encounters. Um, someone is asking about uh skinwalkers, like what they are, if they're in New Mexico, and how to defend yourself from them. funny because I'm pretty sure the idea of skinwalkers is I'm pretty sure there's stories of skinwalkers all over. You know, it's not just in America, it's not just in New Mexico or Mexico. Um, I'm pretty sure there's stories or stories that are very similar to skinwalkers that are just around, you know, and you'll hear them from time to time. It's what makes these stories so amazing. Oh, my flashlight's still on. I always forget to turn off my flashlight on my phone. Alright, so let's take a look at this post. We're mainly going to take a look at the comments here. Alright. What are skinwalkers? Are skinwalkers in New Mexico? How do you defend yourself from them? Let's see if anyone has any idea based on legends and stuff like that. This person here, zealous, ideal. Usually, as the legend goes, they're a Navajo medicine man that resorted to black magic that basically becomes a witch or warlock. They usually practice taking the forms of numerous animals by wearing the hide of animal. That's until they master it and can take the full of their full forms. They are known to target certain people for a number of reasons. They can mimic voices and trick you to lure you in. The end result or goal is never a positive thing. Thank you. So the people saying this very good and accurate description. I've seen one before. They are shapeshifters that can control time and sound around them too. They are nothing to be played with. Personally, I think they are responsible for cattle mutilations and other trickery. They can play with your mind beyond belief. Now, you see this. This is what I like talking about. You saw these two posts right next to each other. One goes off of basic ideology of skinwalkers, and both comments are similar, or they can go off each other. And from that, people can get a certain idea, start shaping this creature in their mind, right? And that's how it works. And it's really interesting. And I really love this. All right, this is super cool. You may not see it as cool, but I see it as very cool. I saw one mimic my dog once. Never saw her run so fast inside. Um, I'll probably save my thesis on, or my conclusion to the end. But these stories definitely are making me think that this is going in a certain category. But skinwalkers, from what I see, are not exactly spirits, so I don't know if I can classify it as that. Skinwalkers. Oh, this one says skinwalkers are found in New Mexico. So they are an entity very specific to Native American beliefs. And no, Karen, you didn't see a skinwalker in Wisconsin. What? No, there could possibly be skinwalkers in Wisconsin. You know, I used to live in Wisconsin, all right, and there are a lot of vicious cheese eaters out there, okay? A lot of vicious cheese eaters. How dare you? We can have dangerous things in Wisconsin too. They are generally concerned to be shape-shifting, witch and a trickster, or cursed person depending on who you talk to. They impersonate familiar people's voices and animals, but can also appear as something raggedy and in between a human and an animal. From what I've been told from my... I can't pronounce that word, but you guys can probably see that. Actually, hold on a second. I want to see if I can take this, go in filters, crop. And we'll go. Just gonna crop this a little bit so you guys can see a bit better. Oh, wait, we don't want that. I want down there. And then right. Just ignoring all the ads here. Was totally interesting. You can tell I am definitely new to doing stuff like this. Wow, I am cropping out a lot. Close. There, and I'll just zoom in a little. What we're looking at? Yeah, this word. This word right here. I can't read that. If you guys can read that, that's cool. Should probably bring that down a bit more. From what I've been told from my friend, if you have shelter, they can mostly be ignored. One shouldn't acknowledge them or speak of them, or you risk attracting their attention. Otherwise, although they are tricky and dangerous, they are mortal and can be killed in the same way as a human. Should I be worried? This whole live stream, all I've been doing is just talking about skinwalkers. Something tells me this might have been a bad idea. I'm sure I'm fine. Let's see. Any cool. Skinwalkers are violent or just generally mysterious Navajo shamans or medicine men who practice bad medicine, or as we call it, black magic, in a ritual where they kill someone close to them, and in some telling, cannibalism is involved. Then they become shape-shifting witches, and some tellings they are often wear animal skins and body parts that take their shape. Which one of several reasons why wearing the skins of predatory animals, like coyotes and cougars, is considered taboo to the Navajo-speaking tribes. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I think that's pretty cool. That's a good development in our research right there. That right there, pretty interesting. That right there, pretty good, Um, let's go back. Ah, S. Oh, how do you make it smaller? Been a while since I had to say that. That's that question. Oh, I'm not even on the right question nut. Hold on, I'm getting there. Did I? You can tell how new I am to this. We just got a little bit more. I'm gonna find probably a skinwalker story. story. Let's see. Let's read. Um, Maybe I'll end with this and then I'll go on with my thesis or my conclusion on this creature. This live stream wasn't very long, 20 minutes so far, but we're about the end there. Not too much because I don't want to dwell too much into this while just doing this kind of stuff. Oh, and I am still... Why am I still in that? There we go. Ah! Clicked on a link. There we go. Information on real skinwalker myths from r/folklore. Nowadays, skinwalker is often used to refer to a trope of mimetic monsters or a deformed animal, but from my understanding, they were originally part of the Navajo folklore, being evil witches and transformed into or took on animal traits. They were also culturally important, with a sort of boogeyman role being that they weren't supposed to be talked about. Thus, apologies to any Native Americans if this post is offensive. But what are the real stories of skinwalkers like? I've seen photos of real Native American skinwalkers online. Are those actually real photos of people who consider themselves skinwalkers? What is a skinwalker exactly, according to the real myths? What can they do? Thank you. Um. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm probably gonna get some bad reviews on this. Hey, Dr. Study. Dr. Study? Do I know you? Hey. Um, not Navajo, but from what I know of them, they would really, really like you to stop talking about this. Navajo myths have a power in their telling. Telling a story at the wrong time of year or even recorded one can bring bad luck. Talking about specific beings is said to summon them. There's a story of white folklorists in the 20th century who recorded their stories with permission and spent enough time with various people to be adopted into the family, and for them to explain why they weren't actually super hot on the idea of him using recordings to teach, inevitably leading them to being played out of season in the end, out of respect for the people he'd come to love and the family that had come to love him. The folklorist destroyed all his recordings. Sometimes in folklore, this sort of thing is necessary. And it's very necessary to understand that just because something can be learned about doesn't mean that we should learn it or that we'll be able to learn it, and being okay with that is part of learning folklore. Yeah. Oh, really sounds like being targeted here. Really sounds like I'm just being say, here I am looking up folklore. Um, two apparently on about the separate and multiple reddish native mountain may have known that it's a tattoo subject. Yeah, so I guess we shouldn't like research too deep into the subject. It's probably one of the subjects we have to leave just like right there and not bug with it too much. Because you do want to be careful with discussing this entity, right? And if there's anyone who is State E. It's Dr. State Farm. That makes sense. He adds. Um, if there is anyone who is offended by the fact that I am researching these entities, I should probably stop saying the name of them. I do apologize. Um, but I will still be posting the recording of this on YouTube. Um, I don't think I did deep enough research, hopefully, or telling of anything. I don't think you can really find enough or a lot of information on the internet, and maybe that's the best for this specific entity. Um, so please be careful, of course, whenever you read stories, because stories do have power behind them. And a lot of times they can teach you things um, that you shouldn't need to know. And it's best that there are some things that are better left unknown and unread about. This appears to just be one of them. So, please be careful out there, and please be safe. Uh, my verdict on this entity so far, um, I believe they are Fae-like in a way, but they're not quite spirits, right? Because they should have a physical being, right? So they're not spirit types, but they are Fae-like in a way that they do trickery and mischievousness. But the mischievous, uh, and yeah, and that's they are echoes of emotion, and so definitely be wary when you look up stuff like this, because you will get uh comments, and you really do have to listen to the comments, because a lot of them will tell you a lot of things that people just don't say out loud. It's like, hey, you really can't be researching this because there are beliefs that this could actually summon this thing or bring bad luck and death, which death is bad, very bad, apparently. Apparently, so I know. But yeah. Also, if you know any creatures or entities that I can search up, definitely let me know. Oh yeah, I've had I'm interested in demonology. That is good. It's always fun to research interesting topics. Um, yeah. If you know any other creatures that you would like me to research, I'm debating on next week's research subject to be Doulahans. Um, going back in more spirit-like. I'm pretty sure Doulahans are spirit-like creatures. Um, just think about it, it's actually pretty interesting because it'd be the horse spirit and the rider spirit as well. So I'm really curious on what that actually is, and we'll probably figure it out about it next week. But for anyone who is watching for this case file or this episode, thank you so much for stopping by, saying hi, and check me out. I am cool, probably. Probably not. You never know. I know because, yeah. Bye! Probably. Also, Dr. State Farm, thank you for stopping in. Thank you.